All right, so I'm going to grab our upcoming guest here. Let me lay some groundwork for you guys, all right? So, I recently had my eyes opened to the wonders of Lamatology, and I am very proud. Mr. Fez, are you ready with the call?
Yes, I am.
All right. I am very proud to present our new friend here, someone who has a lot of stuff to tell us, a lot of knowledge to unleash onto the world. He has a very unique take of the world, and he has a very interesting story to tell us, and a lot of other teachings. So we are joined now by the creator of Lamatology, Lord Josh. Lord Josh, how are you?
I'm very well. And let me tell you this. The reason why I am here in the first place is because I've manifested this experience to occur through my divine mind. I knew I was going to be on this podcast long before we'd spoken. That's right. I knew it. Because this is what I'm trying to teach here is the power of the subconscious mind. And if people acknowledge their creativity and their artistic side, we, all of us, are magicians. Now, I'm a ceremonial magician. Have been that way since age 11. Had a great spiritual awakening. The Lamat spirit came into my soul. I started to hear voices. They thought I was crazy.
Okay.
I've always been a nonconformist. Always. And I always represent nonconformity. And the best way to nonconform is to abide by the hermetic laws of magic. Okay? It's got nothing to do with how you dress or anything like that. It's to do with what sorcery you practice. And yes, magic is very real. I can vouch for it.
Okay.
Because right now I'm working on a ceremony to alter and conjure the winds live on video. That's how sure I am of my abilities to do this, and I would never lie or deceive anybody.
Holy shit.
I'm also a writer, and I'm writing a complete book. It's huge, 700 pages of this for free, all for free. That's right. I'm a great believer in magic. I know it works. I'm not a believer. And I always say this. On YouTube, I'm not so big, but when I'm in my magical circle, I am the center of my universe. Mm-hmm. And from that center of the magical circle, I can control whatever elements I want to control easily. And you can too. And I'll teach you that through my videos. And tonight, there's a spell working right now, believe it or not. And I've just been preparing it before I came on.
Holy shit.
Like I said, the power of manifestation. Well, basically, the reason why I'm here is because I envisioned it. Are you guys familiar, before I get into it, are you familiar with astral projection?
A bit, yes. But for our listeners at home, if they're not familiar, could you kind of just fill them in a bit?
What it involves is, I've been doing this since the age of 11 when I had my first awakening. It's when your consciousness, your awareness, leaves your physical body and travels around the universe to explore different realms.
Okay.
And I've explored Jupiter, I've explored Venus, and I get my information and my knowledge from the celestial deities that inhabit the 7 stars constellation of the Northern Dipper. That's where I pray to. That's where I get all my information from. Okay. And if you watch my videos, I constantly reference Venus. Because in Mayan mythology, Venus is the Lamat star. And that is the true manifestation of Captain Lamat, who is my ascended master. Lamat is not a deity, so to speak, but he's an ascended master. He was once human. And it's now his job to guide people through the realms.
Let's start there, all right? Because... I got to be honest, you're going pretty quick, right? This is a lot. This is a lot to take in, right? And you're going very fast. We love the enthusiasm and passion, but I'm just afraid that you're sort of putting out a lot very quickly. So I want people to be able to take this stuff in. So let's start and let's break this down, and let's sort of go at this a little bit slower, just so that people can sort of digest this.
You ask anything. I'm open to any questions about anything. I have no personal life. Go ahead.
Okay.
Anything at all.
So let's start at the beginning. You told me in a private conversation that you were contacted by Captain Lamat, and that was sort of the origin, the genesis of Lamatology. Right. And all this other stuff. So let's start at the beginning. Tell us about your experience with Captain Lamat and how this led you to sort of where you are today.
Well, first of all, it all started from school. I hated school. I hated the programming of the system. Couldn't stand it. They would try to put me in uniform, and I was always a nonconformist. I would never cut my hair. I'd get after-school detention for it. And I always said, one day I'm going to break out of this. And I did not foresee the events that would transpire in my life. One day I went to school and I passed out in the assembly hall. I completely passed out, smacked my head on the ground, got taken to the school nurse, and she said it was probably some fatigue or dehydration because it was summer. But it wasn't. It kept happening every single day. And as it would happen, I would get these telepathic communications from the astral realms, from that hidden realm. And that was Lamat contacting me, telling me that I had a destiny to break free from this conformity, to create a whole new philosophy called Lamatology. And it's led me onto this path that I'm on right now, where I'm teaching people via videos and via books and blogs and private Skype calls as well to people who ever want to talk to me.
Sure.
That this is something we should all focus on, and it's all centered around the occult. Because the word occult means knowledge of the hidden, knowledge that cannot be measured by science. Because all occultists believe there's more than meets the eye. And science can't even get into it, believe me.
Okay.
So I have learned all of these things through many vivid dreams, through many vivid experiences in my life. And I was getting sick at the same time. So people think of spiritual awakenings as a beautiful experience. Not so, please. Spiritual awakenings, especially when you're young, are terrifying. Physically and mentally terrifying. Vomiting, passing out, you name it, it happens. But it's a growing process. I was becoming free of the programming, the systematical programming of the establishment. It was peeling away to reveal the true self, which is the person I am today. And it's wonderful. All of you here, I think at some point will go through it to some extent. But I didn't ask for it. It just kind of came to me, unless subconsciously I was manifesting it, which is possible, you know?
So, now you got a little bit of noise. I'm not sure if maybe you have a mic that's sort of moving around a little bit, but just wanted to give you a heads up.
All right.
So
there's a storm here right now. I'm not sure if it has anything to do with what we're doing, but it might.
Do you think
it might be the day?
Did you summon the storm?
Not yet, but I will soon enough on camera.
So tell us a little bit about this process. I mean, this sort of caught my attention. This storm summoning. You said you were going to summon a windstorm.
Summon the wind. Yeah.
Is this a mental process? Is this a physical process? Is there?
Oh, it requires visualization and practice. You have to imagine it in your mind first, and then you must construct an altar. Okay. Now, I must admit, I'm blessed to be born in a fairly affluent family, so I can afford to go crazy with my experiments. And I've organized, my father's agreed to it because it takes place outside in the garden. He's built me an altar known as Altar of the Seven Stars. And this is where I'll be going to conjure my magic. So on this altar, we've got flags. We've got tons of lanterns and candles. And that's all visualization and practice built into one, because you've got to have the balance of both, the yin and the yang of everything.
Sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
Is this the altar that I've seen one of your videos, the one underneath the peach tree?
It takes place in my peach garden, yes. Yeah,
okay.
It takes place in there, but you'll see it. It's gigantic, a huge altar. And people are going to think that this is insane, especially the way that I'm dressed. And I'm going to try and give you an imagining of the way I'm dressed. Do you know the sort of 16th century plague doctors? They have the big beak.
Oh, yeah, kind of like Reaper on Overwatch. Yeah.
Yes.
Right, I'll be dressed like that, very similar to that. And
now,
that's
is that
the kind
necessary?
of dress. Oh, yes,
Sorry.
very necessary, because what you've got to do is you have to abide the law of attraction, and you have to attract positive vibrational frequencies to your auric field, which is the biomagnetic invisible force that surrounds your physical being. I have to attract those forces in order to procure these effects. If I fail to do it, this is the bad part. If I fail to do it, I will most likely die. So I've got to make sure all the calculations are correct. And believe me, there's many. I've been fasting for 7 days. That means no food for a whole straight 7 days, only water. I've been bathing in holy water for 2 months. And holy water stings, believe me. It really does sting. It's not like normal water. It's got a lot of salt in it. It's very acidic. So it stings. So even before you get to the altar, there's a lot of preparation you've got to have to go into it. And the food you eat is very crucial as well. I've been following a Taoistic diet. in order to do
May
this.
I just clarify, when you talk about the
Yes.
laws of attraction, do you mean the laws of attraction as a concept within physical science, or do you mean within the law of attraction as a philosophical concept, that sort of new thought?
I should have been more clear.
Concept.
The law of attraction
Sorry,
and the law of repulsion.
Okay,
Because
so
there are
scientifically.
two. And yes. So basically in this ceremony, what I'll have to be doing is I'll be wearing certain colors on my robes. And these colors will be very significant to the way that my energies will build up. Because color, believe it or not, everybody listen to this. This is very true. You can Google this as well. In this country, in Great Britain, we treat depression by giving people yellow-tinted sunglasses. Because they get something called seasonal affective disorder, which is caused by a lack of color and a lack of light perceived by the brain in the winter months. This is all proven by science. Now, it's not going to be put in the mainstream because, let me tell you this, the establishment doesn't want it. They don't want people to be liberated and have alternative medicines. But it's coming out. That's my job. When I put this video out there, people are going to watch it and say, maybe I can do this. And just think, if everybody out there started to become magical and started to practice these ceremonies, the world would not be the same. We would take back our power from these politicians and these evil people that are ruling the world, the ruling classes, you know? So it's all based upon that. It's a wonderful experience.
I have a bit of a question.
Sure, anything.
Are you familiar with the series Avatar? It's a fairly recent.
I'm familiar
series.
with it, yeah.
All right, so within Avatar, there are people called airbenders, and what they do is they manipulate the wind to use it as they want to. Like, for instance, there's they can morph it into like a ball, like ride around on it. Like they can use it as I guess a means of violence in a sense, like not like they're passive about it, but like it can be used for that. Like, is in terms of like how you would manipulate the wind, is it anything like that, or like what would you be able to do with it?
My magic, the kind of magic that I specialize in, is conjuration. There are 8 different kinds of magic, and the one that I most enjoy doing is conjuration. Why? Because it's the most visceral. You can see it happening. You don't have to get into a trance for it to happen. You guys, the viewers or anybody watching, will see the trees blowing. You will see all of this happening in real time.
Yeah.
And I'm going to live stream.
That's the bit I wanted
go ahead.
to address. Okay, so if you've got this plan to prove this by doing this on camera, by summoning winds, was it? How are you going to put in place certain controls, certain methods to ensure that it's not random gales? Because wind is kind of it's not an infrequent occurrence within the world.
Yes, I understand. Well, what do you think about fog? If I was to summon that in the middle of summer,
it's water
that
vapor.
would be quite. Well, if I
in
was
the
to
middle of
summon
summer.
it, well, exactly. But if I was to summon this like graveyard fog, that's as thick that you can't see your hand in front of your face, I could do it, and indeed I will. You see, what I'm doing is I am not commanding the elements; I'm borrowing from them. Because the way the universe works is a lot different than you were taught in school, a lot different from the programming you get. The universe is very much, can be altered by the perception, because it all starts from the self. How you perceive the universe is how you live your life. And Lamatologists believe that it's like a blank canvas, and you have to fill in the colors and paint your masterpiece. And that's exactly what I'm doing, and I put that in my book. So what I'm doing is, I'm asking permission from the celestial deities temporarily for about 3 days, because I'm going to have to sleep on the altar as well. 3 days, 3 nights. I'm going to be out there for 3 whole days, and I'm not allowed to leave the altar. Okay? So you will see, as I've said, you'll see all this happening, and it's summer right now in England, and there's not much wind at all. And to put the cherry on top, I'm going to be summoning very thick fog. So I think that after you've seen it, you might say, oh my god, is this trickery? Well, it's a kind of form of trickery, because all magic is, but it's very real. It's not fake. It's not special effects. It's not, it is real. So it can be done. Do you know why it can be done? I'll tell you this. This is very simple. Do you know why it will be done? Not why it can be. Because I will it. to be done. When people say, I'll attempt to do it, they don't do it. When you say, I will do it, then you do it. I was brought up in a very disciplined family. My father's a professional bodybuilder. And he's 52 years old. He's gone through all kinds of hardships in his life. And he always tells me, if you're going to do something, don't say I can, say you will. Say you're going to do it. Leave no other option. And I've abided by that philosophy, and it's worked out very well for me.
Have you performed a similar, so have you summoned wind and fog previously?
I've never done this. No, this is the first time I've ever done it. This is the very first time.
Okay. Okay.
So it's very much an experience for me too. So I'll be learning as you guys will,
Okay.
Which is excellent. It's good that we're all learning.
Have you performed any other feats that would be considered outside the realm of what modern science can, any other magic type?
Absolutely. When I was 14 years old. Yes, when I was 14 years old, I had an empty barrel. It was completely empty. And I was hungry. I wanted some food. And I wanted some fish. Now, I wanted some fish that you couldn't get in the area that I lived in. So I sat there and meditated for about 7 hours. Didn't eat anything, didn't drink anything. I sat and visualized, I want this piece of fish. I want it now. Come to me. No excuses. And then after the 7 hours were up, I came out of this trance, this transcendental state. And lo and behold, the barrel was full. And
so
I'll do this on video as well. I'll do this in the future on video. I did this years ago before I had a YouTube channel. You see, you guys are sitting there now, and you're going to be thinking, this man is insane. But the way that I've learned the real reality of the universe, it's actually the opposite. No offense to you. It's actually the opposite, because you guys are seeing reality from a programmed perception, where I'm seeing it from the perception of the perceiver who's experiencing more of a, an astral projection, which is an alternate state of being. I resonate on a very high frequency range. And that means that I am basically always in good spirits. I indulge in creativity all the time. I'm a very good poet. And I write constantly. So sometimes 12 hours a day I write in my book. And it's all going to be free, because I do it for the pleasure and the privilege of doing it, not for any gain. I'm not doing any of this to make money, because I don't make a penny. Don't need it, quite frankly. And I'm a hermit as well. I haven't left my property in 4 years. And I'm not ashamed to admit that to everybody right now, because you have to go into seclusion in order to learn these arcane arts. You cannot be a part of society if you wish to do this. And I put that in my book. There is no way you can work a 9-to-5 job and be a magician at night. Not going to happen. It's a lifestyle. You have to live your whole life through the magical arts. So I'm a complete hermit.
Okay.
I'm very proud to be too.
All right. Wow. So I feel like we got a lot of information. I don't even know what to do with this information anymore. I'm very confused.
Well,
digesting.
Put it this way. All of you here, if you was to listen to me, and I would prefer to do this in a private Skype call, because I need your absolute concentration on me. Preferably one by one, I'll do it if you are serious about it. Within a year, I could have you all casting your first spell, if you were to listen to me. Seriously.
Huh. Well, we're gonna have to do that, some other time.
Cool.
Let's move on. So, I feel like a lot of us have questions. I might be
Go
wrong.
ahead.
Does anyone in the panel have a question for Lord Josh here?
Where'd you find this nutter? That's what they're saying.
Not exactly. I feel like I've been talking a lot, though. Does anybody other than me? No?
There's no way
Everyone
that
is
you
speechless.
No.
Everybody. I'm sorry. I'm very entranced right now. Like, I'm very involved in what's going on.
That's a good word to use, isn't it? That's a very good word to use. When people talk to me, they always say that. I feel calm around you. A little bit of something working there, perhaps.
All right. So, given that everybody is speechless, and I think we've definitely gotten our at least we've gotten started here with this seminar. Is there any final thing that you want to tell the audience here before we sort of move on to the next segment of the show? Is there anything important that you want to get out to these people?
Yes.
And please try to keep it under like 5 minutes.
Okay, fair enough. There is a cult of YouTubers out there who are using my arts, but are using it in a negative way. And these are some of the biggest, most popular YouTubers you'll ever imagine. Now, I don't want to name any, because I think that's wrong. But they use hand gestures. They use symbolism. They use the same music. And a lot of them are vloggers, very popular ones. And these people are using the power of persuasion and hypnosis on their viewers, which is why they are so influential. So I'm warning everybody out there now to be very careful out there. There's a lot of people using a lot of strange tactics, and they come from the arcane arts, because hypnosis is an arcane art. Arcane simply means something that's understood by few.
No, we know what arcane is. It's
good. So you have to be very careful.
Sorry. I've had a bit of a look through your Twitter feed. I found it quite interesting. You say that you live a hermetic life. Where are the outfits and the haircuts coming from if you've not left your house in 4 years?
Well, well, listen to this. As a creative being, I make a lot of my outfits because I can make pretty much anything if I put my mind to it. I make my own feathered fans. I'll give you an example. You know the purple suit that I wear with the broad shoulders? I made that.
Yes.
And believe it or not, I won a competition for that, the Oddworld competition. You see? So what you make is always better than what you purchase. Granted, I'll buy a lot of things from a tailor, and they'll send them here. But I really am a complete hermit. And in real life, and I've got no quandaries with saying this, I don't know anybody. Not a single person knows me in real life. But online, I'm fairly popular. Well, somewhat. So that's perfectly fine by me. I might be alone most of the time, but I never feel lonely. Let's put it that way.
Wait, an Oddworld competition?
Yeah, there was an Oddworld costume cosplay competition. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to enter this. And I did the Glockstar suit from Oddworld Munch's Odyssey.
Yeah, you look like Lulu.
That's right, there you go, you got it.
Do you watch a lot of Mighty Boosh? I'm picking up a very Noel Fielding vibe.
I don't, what is that? I'm not familiar with that, to be honest.
It's a British television show.
I got my opinions on TV, and I don't tend to watch it that much.
Look, here's my thing. If you are able to summon, if you're able to astral project, and if you're able to summon fish if you're hungry. Okay, right.
Everybody can.
Have you ever heard of an organization called JREF, the James Randi Foundation for Education and Research?
No, never heard of that. No.
Okay, basically, James Randi, he is a skeptic, but he is fair. He has issued a $1 million challenge to anybody who can, under controlled conditions, demonstrate abilities that would be considered outside of the normal realm of what is currently understood by science. Would that appeal to you?
When you've said it like that, now, it would appeal to me, definitely, if the person doing it wasn't practicing magic too. Because he will be. All scientists, all politicians, and all the skeptics are magicians. All of them. Every single one of them. And I will stake my life on it. If I was to conjure something up... Oh, right, so there you go. So he knows about the arcane arts. This is a person here who will manifest something from... Right. Now, stage magic is another form of arcane arts. It comes under illusionistic magic. And this person will very much, if I was to do a spell, he would counteract it. But I could counteract his spell. So what you'd be seeing is a war between two people. That'd be very negative for my auric field. It wouldn't get me anywhere. And I'm not out here to enter competitions or to get any money.
No,
I'm going to prove it on my own channel. I can prove it to you on my YouTube channel, and you can see, everybody can see it, so it's a lot easier that way to do it, as opposed to put myself up on a pedestal and say, look at this, I got the money now.
look, it's not about putting yourself on a pedestal. It's more, if you do it with certain controls in place, then people could know that you're not, say, using a
So,
fog
in
machine.
other words, you'd have to do it within their little perception of reality.
No, it's more just to ensure that there is no chicanery. Don't you think that would get your message of your religion out to more people if you were able to?
It's not a religion. It's a philosophy.
Okay, your philosophy then.
Yeah.
Okay, your philosophy.
It needs to be proven. It's an acceptance. If it works whether you believe it or not. Let's put it that way. It's not like religion. It's you. It's the self. What you're looking at now is a holographic projection of reality. That's it. Through the power of your perception and the subconscious mind. All respectable magicians and hypnotists will tell you this. So, if I was to go and do this competition...
No, not the respectable ones.
Well, your version of respectable would be the postage stamp consensus of people who were programmed from birth, from cradle to grave, to believe in something that doesn't exist, to keep the people thinking, oh, I can't do anything. When you think about that, you don't get success in your life. You become a drone, a worker drone, a conformist. That's the total opposite of what I'm teaching. Anything is possible. Anything. When you abide by the laws of what they say, rather than the hermetic laws that are in the Book of Solomon, not interested. Not interested whatsoever. The hermetic laws of magic are the ones that count. Any scientists who are saying that magic isn't real are fooling the audience. Therefore, they're using magic against the people. That's it.
It's not about saying, from a scientific point, that things are not real. It is simply about confirmation.
I don't think you understand what I mean here. This person that I'm referring to is a sorcerer. He's a magician.
No, right? He's an illusionist.
He's definitely a magician. No, he's an occultist. Well, that's what you think.
He is absolutely not an occultist. I have not been programmed.
He wouldn't tell you if he was. He wouldn't tell you if he was. That's the whole purpose of magic. It's secretive. That's what I'm trying to tell you is you wouldn't know because you're under the spell. I'm a magician. I'm not under it. Therefore, I can see past the mountain. I can see the wood from the trees. Okay? That's what I'm trying to tell you here. You're underneath the spell because you're not inside the circle of people who understand these arts. I've mastered it since the age of 11. I understand them very well. And I know when someone else is using it for me.
Going back to that, you say it first manifested after a head injury.
No.
When you passed out. And
it manifested before that, because it was the reason why I passed out, because my electromagnetic field was going crazy from celestial messages being sent in from Venus, because my frequency was being heightened.
Okay. Explain to me how do messages from Venus affect an electromagnetic field here on Earth?
Not just Venus, it's all over the universe.
Okay. How exactly does that? What is that doing to electrons?
It will affect your physical being. Negative thinking can cause cancer. So if you're thinking about something positive or negative, it will affect... there you go. See that? I got you on that one. Now you're waking up. But what happens here with...
Only because I'm an oncological nurse with an 8-year-old who has beaten cancer. I'm sorry, she did not have any negative thoughts that caused her own cancer. Or are you trying to say that that my 8-year-old has...
What about Noel Edmonds? What about Noel Edmonds on TV?
I'm not talking about Noel Edmonds. I'm talking about my daughter.
I'm talking about Noel Edmonds. He came on TV and he said that negative thinking can cause cancer. And when you step out of the box, because we all know that doctors are the only ones who know about health, and we all know that lawyers are the only ones who know about law. Give me a break. Get yourself out of this box, people, that you are in, my friends.
Why do you believe that Noel Edmonds is any more of an authority on these things than...
I've had private conversations with him over Skype. I have.
The guy from Noel's house party who wears spray-on tights. That is not the man. Exactly. I'm not saying that he is more than...
Fruit of life.
I think we're all in a
person. Silliness is the fruit of life. You have to be silly to appreciate life. You have to have a good sense of humor. And don't make fun of the way he dresses. It's irrelevant.
On that we agree. I enjoy silliness myself.
Yeah, you've got to. I'm a very silly person. I do things that are unorthodox and strange, and people say this guy is insane or whatever, or he's too eccentric, but that's just the way I am. And it's not fair to condemn other people that do the same thing. You know, Noel Edmonds, you might think he's a silly little radio presenter or TV host, but he's tapping into a different frequency range here. Before I had my spiritual awakening, I was a normal person too. But after I had my awakening, I became enlightened. People get it at different times. I got it when I was very young. I'm talking to a person, all of you guys here still live within this realm. I don't think you've ever gone beyond it apart from dreams. Now, I can do this as I'm walking around. I see things as I'm literally going about my daily business. I talk to spirits and entities and forces all the time because my frequency is so high, because I obey the Hermetic laws.
Well, is that something it seems you would be able to prove in controlled conditions if you're able to project? I mean,
you wouldn't see astral projection because it's a spiritual trance.
No, I mean,
like
but you could bugger off to the other side of the world and release information that wouldn't be available to you in that room.
Well, you could do easily.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
I feel if you were able to do. Oh no, there could be controls put in place. I believe it.
Well, name one, and I'll counteract it right now.
You are in one room then that is being monitored and that is without any access to informational devices. And if you're able to, say, predict or bring information from something that is happening in a different part of the building, of the country, without outside influence, then I just think if you want to push this philosophy.
Now you're losing yourself here. We are never in one room. We are never in one room because we have an aura.
That would be easy to prove.
So I'm talking to you now, and I'll be in my living room or I'll be in my bedroom. It depends on where I go.
Yes,
so
then that would be easy to prove.
And the aura cannot be measured. It's an invisible force, and it cannot be decoded by your technology. That's exactly what I'm talking about, because you have to heighten your frequency. So you don't understand the purposes of magic here. You're thinking of the Lord of the Rings magic. I'm talking about the subconscious.
Of anything other than...
You're thinking of the fantastical, stereotypical magic that you see in the movies. No. I don't watch TV. I've told you that. TV is mind conditioning and mind programming. You've got to step away from all of that programming. That's the way it comes across to me, as someone who has woken up from the sleep. And if you keep, reciting, you have to have it measured, there's no way it could be measured.
If I'm able to finish a sentence, all I was going to say, if you would like this philosophy to be more accepted, if you were able to do it under the conditions of, say, JREF, where you can prove it under controlled conditions, don't you think that would go a long way in the public eye to showing your philosophy is legitimate?
Not at all. Quite the opposite.
So you don't wish
magic
to
is out there. If you go onto YouTube and you look at books, it's all out there, but nobody goes to see it. So regardless of what you do, people will not abide by it. But the point is that you can, through yourself, you can let people know. But the only ones who want to know are the people who are already slightly awakened. And you always see them. You call them the eccentrics or the oddballs, because they resonate on a different frequency range. And if I was to go and do this ceremony in a controlled environment, which, by the way, they're all magicians anyway, so they counteract the magic because all scientists are magicians, because science and occultism is very much connected. So it would be very pointless. Now, I could say this, I'd agree with you on this one. If you could get a scientist to come to my hermitage with a video camera team and all the stuff that he needs, and I'm on my altar, fair play. Go ahead. I challenge you. Anybody
would be willing to do so. Contact JREF. I'll be happy to do it for you. They would be willing to do that.
But the problem is with this person you keep referencing, I don't know who he is.
When you told
me that these organizations or whatever they are very involved in this kind of stuff, if they're challenging something, the best way to control the opposition is to lead it. When I would go into this environment, they would very much try to control what I'm doing. Easily, definitely try to control what I'm doing because they oppose it. They are polarized. They believe in one thing or another. Now, I'm right down the middle. I'm balanced. I'm the yin and yang. You have to be. And what I'm saying is you cannot be polarized and be a magician. So these people who are doing all of these things, they're saying, well, this can't happen. There's no way this can happen. But we'll do a few things here to rig it up and make sure it doesn't work, No. And they do this all the time. Well, you don't know this because you haven't read the books or have the experience to know of it. Let me ask you a question then. When was the first time you did your first spell?
This will be the last. This will be the last question. This is actually
Oh, no, I'm
we
getting
gave
into
5
this.
minutes. Like,
I like
Thank
this.
goodness.
oh, okay.
What was about the first time you composed your first spell?
This will be the last question.
Go ahead.
My first spell.
Come on, stuck.
Yeah, I have, because this whole thing is just a piss take, isn't it? Like, this is...
Well, if you read my book, which is 700 pages and growing, you'll see it's far beyond your comprehension. Okay?
I
you
assure
stay
you,
in
it's not
your
beyond my
perception-
comprehension.
Of course it is, because you don't understand it. If you understood it, you'd know it'd work. The lack of understanding leads to your ignorance, and you will learn that one.
Yes, I'm the ignorant one. Very well. All I was trying to propose was you could... I would be happy to contact them for you if you would have this foundation.
You're a part of this. You're a part of this organization. You might as well come and say it.
Oh, I'm
Don't
not a part
believe
of
you
it.
if you say no.
I enjoy
Don't
the
believe
work
you.
that they do.
Don't believe you.
I enjoy the work
You're
that they
lying.
do. I'm
Don't
certainly
believe
not
you.
lying right now.
Well,
enjoy
I
the
don't
work
believe
that
it.
they do. Well, very well, but I am not a part of their foundation. I just
You're
enjoy
trying
the
to
work.
recruit me. You're trying to recruit me
No.
into something
I wouldn't want
which
to
I
recruit
do
you.
not
Trust
even
me.
believe exists. Because as I've said to you before, if you go into a situation where you've got black sorcerers and white sorcerers, what do you think's going to happen? You're going to get gray magic. It's going to be static. It's going to be
Right.
interference. There's going to be nothing legitimate to come out of it. So it goes without said for me, really, but other people don't get it. See, I don't talk to many people because I do live as a hermit, so I forget what the general population's like. It's unfortunate.
Alrighty. So with that, go ahead, Blake.
Fred, I have one question.
Oh,
That's
okay.
not one question. Just one more burning question. All right. So since you said you don't really watch TV, you're probably not up to date on the news.
Not really
around.
up to date with pop culture, no. News, don't watch news.
Well, recently there was
Program.
there was a gorilla named Harambe, and he was wrongfully killed. So
Right. Let me just...
my question is,
You can ask. Go ahead, ask.
my question is there any way you can use your source or your magic to revive Harambe back from the dead?
Necromancy. Yeah, necromancy.
Yes. Yeah. Can you necromance Harambe back to this plane of existence?
Of course. Easily. But what you've got to understand is, I agree with what you're saying, and the answer is yes. The simple answer is yes. But also, on the opposite end of the spectrum, the only reason you know about these events is because you've been told about them. And you've been told about them through the mainstream media. So I would say this, that he is not actually dead as we know it. Physically dead. And that comes in with necromancy. If you're physically dead, your spirit can be summoned from the netherworlds and you can be revived, but you will not be revived as a gorilla. Because I am not a human being and neither are you. You people here are infinite consciousness experiencing a human reality.
Huh.
So if I was to revive this gorilla, he would come back in a different form. That's what I'm trying to tell you, because this is just spirit. The body's a vehicle to exist in this reality.
Mm-hmm.
It is not the be-all and end-all of the universe. And that's what necromancy is based upon.
That's pretty dope.
And I can't wait, to be honest. I can't wait until the time comes where I leave my physical shell, my biological shell, and I become infinite consciousness. And who knows, maybe reincarnated as something completely different. But I'll still keep those memories, because I believe you do. I believe in through reincarnation, you keep those memories, they're stored away. So yeah, it's possible. I mean, I could quite easily do it, to be honest with you. Set up an altar. Altar of the Seven Stars would work for this, I believe, necromancy. But like I said, he'd come back as a different form.
So
Or like come back as a bird or a fish or anything like that.
would you have the new form, you know, like in this altar, like, I guess that's what we'll wrap on, you know, like,
John?
can you make a video of you bringing him back, and, you know?
Well, I'll have to do it now after my wind ceremony video, because I'm already preparing for one ceremony, which is
Okay.
conjuration,
and
which
when
is very
can we
different
expect
from necromancy.
when can we expect the wind, the what was it, the
Oh,
wind?
I'd say, well, right now I'm 85% done constructing the altar. I've had some workmen come in. My father's hired them in to come in and do it.
Okay.
I'm just going to say this. My father's an atheist. So he thinks like you guys, right? So this is not necessarily that new to me. He doesn't even believe in God. And to be honest, I don't. Does that shock you? I don't believe in God either. But the point is this, that you can't be polarized. And I'm sorry if you took offense. What's her name?
Oh, me?
What's her name? Yeah, I'm sorry if you took offense to what I'm saying.
Oh, no, I don't take offense. It's just hard to get a word in.
What I'm saying here is very controversial and very strange. And to the general population, it makes people think that I'm a total fantasist. But what I would say is this: suspend your disbelief until you see the video presented in the form of evidence. And you're going to find it hard on a live stream, especially on a live stream, to say how the hell could this be done any other way. So that's what I'm going to have to say about that. My mother's a Catholic.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, thank you very much, Lord Josh, for your time here tonight. It was definitely something else. I think everybody now can definitely say that they have experienced this. And maybe in the future we'll try to do a private call, and maybe you and Shad can go a couple rounds, and we can sort of get some progress going on this Harambe
what I'd
thing.
Like to do,
I think the Harambe thing. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
We're more looking forward to the Harambe thing than the wind thing.
I'm down for the Harambe thing.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, fair enough. I'll probably manifest him as a bird, to be honest. But what I was going to say, Shard, if you've got time, any time of the day, feel free to call me on Skype, and you address your concerns to me at any time. Okay. I'm always, available. And I tell you what, I'm going to propose something to you. Okay. If you want me to perform a spell just to you on camera, and you can name it, you can come up with it, but do it within reason. Do it that involves the 4 elements, so fire, earth, water,
absolutely.
Earth. And then I think that will prove it to you,
I like to have my eyes open to new things. I'll take you up on that. Sounds good.
All right.
Okay, but give me enough time to do my ceremony first, because I'm very busy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
So, Mr. Josh, thank you very much for coming on. We very much appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And we're looking forward to the Harambe.
Absolutely.
Well, first the wind is coming, so we'll look out for that as well. All right, I'll see you guys later. Have a good
buddy.
night.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
Hi, Josh.
All right, so that was Lord Josh.
Harambe is coming back.
That is Lord Josh, ladies and gentlemen, and we are looking forward to Harambe, ladies and gentlemen.
Harambe, baby!
Harambe is coming back, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, if anything, we can say, if we can say one thing, it is that Harambe is coming back, and that is something good that came out of this. We will be reunited with Harambe. That feels so good.
Holy sweet fuck!
What the fucking Jesus did I just listen to?
7 Dragon Balls and bring Harambe back to life.
Bring back my boy Harambe, but goddamn!
What just happened?
I like the part where he told us to wake up, and I was like, well, I woke up all right. I fell asleep during that whole fucking conversation.
Can't wake up.
That's just a giant mistake, right?
So,
that does take.
I have a few friends. This is the first time listening, and they're speechless.
As they should be. Listen, this is very important that, I mean, listen, we really thought that Harambe was gone forever. And
Yep.
for us to know that, it's just meant to be, and
Fred is overtaken with emotion right
overtaken with it. And I mean, just think of the children. Think about how many children can now be victimized by Harambe. This is an incredible turn of events, and I'm excited.
But Harambe is a bird, Fred.
He can peck their eyes out.
Yeah.
But then you can't go back to North Korea.
Well, he's already ascended to North Korea as he watches down upon us. Oh, man. Good old Harambe.
Now a Harambe.
Oh, Harambird. That's actually pretty good. We don't even have to think of a new name. He could just be Harambird. That's pretty good.
Harambird.
Harambird.
All right, that's my screen name from
I was
going
to call him Umberto, but
Harambird.
Harambird is
There
pretty
you go.
good. All right,
Oh
see?
my-
So we got this done.
That's some stuff.
That's perfect.
Great.
I've never laughed for that long in my life. What
Oh.
the fuck, man?
I have a headache from laughing so much. Oh my lord.
Can I
But
just ask,
I'm-
how did I do?
Harambe's back, baby.
Did I
You
do
are
okay?
you are a goddamn hero, Shad.
A
God
saint.
damn. You are a fucking saint. You took
Man.
that on like a legend. Like god damn.
I thought
I
it
was
was
laughing
fantastic.
so hard. I was laughing so hard when I was fucking playing with my scratch stick and I won $20 on it.
Oh, you were scratching you were scratching your ticket?
Yeah.
Give it a little scratchy
Yeah.
scratch.
Oh, I'm scratching
Yeah.
my
Oh,
ticket.
scratch- Scratching my
Spell for that,
ticket.
Bogle.
Oh, I was scratching it real hard.
So I don't know.
Alright.
Maybe we'll cut that entire segment out of the podcast. I don't know.
No,
But-
no.
No, why?
Well, it was
don't
funny to
admit-
me. It was funny to a lot of people here in the call.
Me.
Well, Fred, I got an idea. Why don't you single out that entire segment and put it as like a bonus?
Oh,
like,
it's a
a bonus.
bonus. Oh shit!
yeah.
Make
Have
it a
the-
bonus.
the
Just
Hey,
a bonus,
bonus.
Freddy. I like
There
that
you
idea.
go.
Hmm.
Just make that its own video, all right?
It's a little bit extra, you know.
Interesting.
Why, Biz?
Oh my.
Jesus fuck.
Oh man, this was unbelievable.
Great.
I took a hell of a time to come back. Jesus fucking Christ! Oh, my-
I
Resurrection.
can't believe you
Oh,
actually
that
got
was good.
Harambe to come back.
Wow.
I can't believe
happy.
it.
Yeah,
Excited.
see, that's what I'm saying. People don't
That's a
appreciate.
bonus.
People don't
Now-
appreciate the fact that Harambe is coming back.
Now Winston can no longer be lonely.
Oh. Harambe.
Yeah.
Harambe. I'm so excited.
Harambe
Yeah.
is gonna be
Haram-
upon us, and he's gonna peck the children's penises, and who has he's gonna peck their eyes out, everything. He's gonna assault the children, dude. I'm so excited for the children assault.
I don't like
Good.
Child assault has been down 30% ever since Harambe died.
Oh, yeah.
That just
Because
counts.
the other
And think, look,
gorillas saw that as an example, and they were like, "Well, shit. All right. Well, we can't fucking fuck up kids anymore because we're gonna get the strap."
Yeah, if he's back with as a bird with wings, he can fuck up that many more kids.
He can just shit on people.
Yeah.
He can fly all over the
He
world.
can shit on
Fucking
people
hell.
literally. You know,
Yeah.
he's shitting on people.
Oh.
Feces.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Is
They-
with the shit.
They can eat the
Fizz
feces. you
enough
know?
with the thing. No more of that picture.
Feces.
Please.
Well, aside from the feces, yeah, that was very enjoyable for me.
It was funny.
Shad,
I don't give a shit.
Shad, I thought that was pretty good. Yeah, you know.
That guy's a fucking loon.
Oh, come
Aw.
on, he's a good guy.
Oh, good guy.
He wants to summon the wind.
Is it a bring back Harambe?
He's
hey,
gonna make a
hey,
tornado.
I mean, hey, if he brings back Harambe, that's all fine
It's
with me.
worth
but-
it.
You don't want him to make a tornado?
If you think he's a
I
loon, you've
lived in
just been
Tornado Alley. I
programmed.
don't need more of those goddamn things. Fuck that shit.
You're just programmed by the establishment, man.
Yeah, I
Man.
want him to make a
Wake
tornado.
up.
I want to see him airbend. I want him to see him like have a flying.
What are you gonna
Like an
do?
airbender.
Yeah, like dude, I was like, I wanted to ask that from the beginning. Like when he said win, I'm like, all right, so how's? Are you like Aang? Like what the fuck's going on here?
Like what? Do you have a pet appa or what?
Like, well, I wonder if one of his conjuration spells is yip yip.
It was all good. It was all good in the Skype call before the Fire Nation attacked.
God damn. He dresses like the Fire Nation too. God damn.
Oh.
All right, he dresses like a mix between the Fire Nation and Lulu from Oddworld Munch's Odyssey.
Yeah, it's a fire. That call was
I
fire.
encourage
It's lit.
everyone here
Yeah.
and in the chat to check out his Twitter.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's lit.
it's lit.
Mm.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
just a warning: if you go to his YouTube channel, like half of it is bodybuilding, like video of his own father.
Yeah, which he hasn't done any of that himself. He's pretty flimsy. So
A
It's
little.
pretty
He's
slim.
a very timid man.
no, he's real thin. He's real slim.
slim slick.
He's trim.
Now
Slim-
tell me that's not a perfect replication of what we just witnessed. Look in that chat.
No,
That-
little,
that-
little
that's-
guy,
No, no,
little,
and that's the
little,
point.
little guy
He made
that
that suit.
Yeah.
He made
He
that.
wears that suit. He wears that.
So he's a
It's-
seamstress.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I'm excited. All right, well, any other thoughts on Lord Josh, Lamatology, Captain Lamat, all the other stuff?
Harambe's back,
Great,
baby.
yeah.
Harambe's back.
He's
Harambe
back, baby.
2016.
Breaking news.
Yeah, we should announce it, dude. CNN will pick up on that shit.
Yep.
Dude, can you imagine the CNN fucking headline at the bottom on the ticker tape? Harambe's back 2016.
Yep.
Dude, I'm psyched. I'm fucking hyped for the shit. I'm so hyped.
Holy fucking shit.